Prepare yourselves for an evening filled with paranormal, special guests, interviews, haunting stories, creatures of the unknown, and tales that will chill you to the bone. Brought to you by the UPRN Network and Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Take a walk into the night with Shawn Kelly.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Shawn Kelly into the night on 105.3 New Orleans. How is everybody doing? I'm doing great. Just getting ready for Halloween, and I'm really excited. Last night, the show before on Faith and Prophecy, we had a lady that talked about Halloween. She couldn't stay on too long, so hopefully we'll be able to get her back for the 2-hour show. But I want to bring this question up to you. If anybody's out there that wants to leave, come into the comments and say something like, "Hi, Shawn, how are you?" Or "What's up?" Or if you have a question, anything like that, put something in the comments. But Halloween is coming up Monday. And I'm really excited. We're doing something different this year. And what I mean by different is that instead of doing the norm, like passing out like candy bars, okay, we decided to come up and give out microwave popcorn. And trust me, microwave popcorn is good. I don't know if y'all eat it out there. Leave me a comment in the show. But yeah, that was something different. I mean, it's easy. You don't, just in case if you had a hot day, and you're a little kid and you're going around trick or treating, getting the candies, and it's hot, and and your chocolate melts all over the place. But here with this microwave popcorn stuff, it don't happen, man. It just stays in this nice little packet and it's ready to go. So that's what we're doing. And where I live, okay, we get about 130, 140 kids in 2 hours. And it's fun. My brother, he dresses up as Friar Tuck and passes out the stuff for the kids, even grown-ups too, one year I remember what we did was we passed out like little orange drinks, okay, because it was a little warm. And we could tell that the parents were hurting. They were thirsty, walking around, carrying their bags, carrying their children. And what we did was we would actually, give them orange drink too. No beer, no alcohol, just orange drink. Whatever we were passing out to the kids, we gave to the parents, in which they were really appreciative about it. And when my son was growing up, I remember one Halloween, it snowed really bad. And I would like to know, anybody out there, did it snow on Halloween wherever you lived in the past years? I know here in Pittsburgh we did. Oh my God, that was a while back. I would have to say, about 24 years ago, it snowed on Halloween, and it was miserable. But, it's funny, it didn't stop the kids from coming out and, doing some trick-or-treat. But everyone had, like, winter coats on and gloves over their costumes. That was pretty cool. I don't know, the spirit of Halloween kind of makes me happy. And we talked about this on the last show, Chasing Prophecy, that you can be whoever you want to be. You can dress up how you want to be. You can act like how you want to be, and you won't be judged. And it's true. You won't be judged. You can go to parties and act like a jerk. You can dress up in a sexy outfit. You can dress up as Dracula or whatever you want to dress up as, and just be different for one day. Ain't that pretty cool? Just being, think about it, right? Just think about it. Just being different for one day out of the whole year. No holds barred, you know? To me, it was fun. And when I was younger, I used to get dressed up. My favorite costume, in fact, I won a couple Halloween costume parties on it. It was like a half a moon. I had a three-piece suit on, and I had this moon. It was a half a moon. It was huge. It was big. And I won some when I drank at the time. I won some beers and won some whiskey. So it was great. I had a lot of fun doing it back then. You know, and then all of a sudden got into the paranormal field. And for all you paranormal groups out there, this is our busy time of the season. So um, just be careful out there, and yes, and I do want to bring up, and I say this every year wherever I go. Um, People who are not part of the paranormal group, but they want to go out and do some ghost hunting. Okay, um, I highly recommend that if you go to a cemetery, that you get permission to go into. Do not hop the fence and out the gates, because I will tell you, if you hop the gates, you're going to make life really hard for us paranormal people who like to go out and do the cemeteries, especially on Halloween. Um, and it's crazy because going to a cemetery, as you all well know, okay, is hallowed ground. So to me, if I wanted a safe place to be, not just on Halloween, but every day of the year, I would go and stay at a cemetery. Yeah, or a graveyard. Now that might sound is like, oh boy, that's Shawn. He's really, really losing it. It's kind of late, and he's talking about staying in cemeteries. But you know what? Yeah, I would in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I would, because I do feel safe in there. You know. And then I can talk to the spirits that are hanging around in there. I like to go to where my father's buried. Um, it's a really nice place, and I honestly sometimes I just put my chair in, and I'll go sit by his grave, and I'll just sit there and talk to him. You know, and no scary stuff. There ain't no zombies coming out of the woods, nothing like that. You know, but it's like I sit there and I talk with him. He died 32 years ago, 33 years, 1986, whatever that is. I can't really figure out how many years it's been. But he's been gone for a long time now. And going out there and sitting with him, it just like just bring up old times that we had together. You know, I remember my dad. I was 24 years old when my father passed. Okay, and so I was still young, just got out of the service, and when he died, okay, I was like thrown to the wolves because I had no, uh, I didn't have a mentor, if, if you know what I mean. I didn't have a father because he was passed away. So I would go look for other people to be that mentor. Hi, Joseph. Welcome, buddy. Thank you for coming to the show. And so I would go searching for other people um, to be, to fill his spot, to fill his shoes. And I didn't get into a lot of trouble, but I had to make decisions on my own at a very young age. And, some of them decisions were good, some of them were bad. But now, knowing that when I go sit with my father at his gravesite, um, we do talk, we do communicate, and it just good. It just feels really good. And to be honest with everybody out there, I am so looking forward to know when it's my time to pass. Okay, that hopefully my dad will be there waiting in open arms for me. You know, that would be great. And then we can sit down and well, we probably couldn't have no coffee because we'd be spirits. But we could probably go to a restaurant or something and sit down next to the people who are there. And we can have a chat. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the day that I get to see my father again. You know, Trust me, my mom, she's done a great job with me. I put her through hell and back many times because I was young, dumb, and stupid at the time. But you know what? I survived. My mom's the best. You know, I mean, she's old. She's 80, not old. She'd kill me if I said that. She's 83. She's Irish. And boy, she does have a temper. And I don't know about you guys out there, but I know that for me, that even to this day, okay, now I'm 60, right? And my mom, all she has to do is give me the eye, the old evil Irish eye. They just look at you and it's like laser beams coming out of your eyes and like, oh, what did we do wrong? But it's kind of cute. But she just, she's a good woman. She did a good job with me and my brother. So what's really awesome lately is, what isn't awesome is that she was in a car accident and she wasn't hurt, just banged up. The car was banged up pretty good. And she was told not to drive it until it got fixed. And so I usually I take her to her hair appointments. It's so cool. It's so cool. I drop her off at the hairstylist, and then I'll go have a cup of coffee and pick her up. But you know what? Spending that extra time with my mom, you know what I mean? It means the world to me, because you know why? Because I know there's going to come a time where she's not going to be here no more. Okay, I know that, you know, and I know that for me, that spending that time with her, it's just bringing up some very good memories. I think it's like really, really cool that I actually take her to her hairstyle when she gets her hair washed and cut. I think it's pretty cool. And then I take her shopping, you know, and it's just wonderful spending the time with her, you know. And she's always looking out after us, stuff like that. But you know what? I'm cherishing it right now. I really am, because that's my mom, you know. So what I was thinking about today, the idea of a little bit of the topic that I want to bring up tonight, right, was every year I've heard for a long, 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 long time that the veil which separates our world, the spirit world, okay, gets thin, okay, and they say that it gives something about your family members that have been deceased, come over into the veil, so you can actually talk to your parents or any relatives like that. And so they say the veil thins. And it does. I guess it does. But my question to you guys is it just been at that time in the month of October up to November 2nd or 3rd? Being a paranormal investigator, and go and investigate and, spirits and stuff like that. We do get a lot of evidence. We do get a lot of spirits. And I'm thinking, well, the veil's probably thinning out all over the place now. It's been thinning out, and I'll tell you why. Okay, because and this is what I've come in my own study and my own research, but it just seems like when there's more negativity out there, that the veil thins, and look at our world today. Okay, you got a war going on. You got people hating each other. You got people, you got pedophiles. You got people who are doing really, really bad things. There's a lot of negativity in a person that's releasing it on another person. So just imagine with all the negativity that's going on in the world right now, all the bad, okay? It's just sucking up the veil. It's just making it really thin. And it's allowing spirits to come in. It's allowing demons to come in, or not very happy spirits. You know what I mean? See, to me, the veil is supposed to protect us from all that, but it's just not working. So what do y'all think about that? What do you think about the veil? Do you think it's just down for this time, or is it going around all year round? Who knows? But I think I'm going to look into that a little bit further. But all the investigations that I have done, like through the years, I personally think, and this is my own personal opinion, I really believe that the veil is thin 365 days a year. So what to do about it? I mean, really, there's nothing we could do about it. What would be really cool? Here's my goal, and hopefully this will happen before. This is what I wish. This is what I really, really wish, that there'd be one day out of the whole year, where everybody takes care of everybody. It doesn't have a bad name for a person. There is no war. There is no fighting. No murders, no killings, no blasphemies. One day. And wouldn't that be great if that could happen? I know it's a dream for me, okay, for it to happen, but you know what? I'm don't know if it will ever happen. But if it does, one day where the whole world is happy. Now, you can say, well, it's not supposed to happen. In order to have good, you got to have evil. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, there's more freaking evil than there is good. And it seems like the people who are good are getting pounded by the people who are evil. I'm not saying that you are evil or that people, the whole world. People should, at least balance it out, because, if you look at it, I figured it out, was 40% people are good and there's 60% that are bad. It would be really nice if the good would come up 10, and really good if the evil came down 10%, and it'd be 50-50. What would the world look like? How would the world be? I thought about that. No more wars. And I'm thinking, you know what? Okay, that was a little noise on my Facebook page. But think about it, right? If there were no more wars, that would be awesome. Yeah, but then again, if you look at it, right, nobody's fighting. And, you got people on one side fighting the other people, and all of a sudden, no more fighting. What the hell's going to happen? They're just going to sit on their butts. But they're not fighting. There might be a little bit of anger going on there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I think it was World War II in Germany, Christmas Eve, they just stopped fighting, and the Germans were singing Christmas carols, and I guess it was the Americans were like, "What the hell's going on here?" But they didn't fight. They kind of called a truce, you know, for one night. But the very next morning, all hell broke loose. They were bombing and shelling and killing. But that one night, you know, and I want to say 1940s, I'm not sure. But there was 6, 7 hours of peace. Of peace. So what do you do? What would you do? I would sit back and enjoy myself if I knew if I was fighting in a war. I would just sit back and just relax and observe and get my head together and figure out, why am I here? What are we fighting for? Blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. Or maybe, you know, having a couple cookies, you know, that my mom would have sent me, you know, for Christmas, or, you know, singing our own Christmas carols. But we were happy for 6, 7 hours. What if your worst enemy that you had would come up and just join you for a cup of coffee at a restaurant? And you sit down there and you chat, and you don't talk about all the things we hate about each other. Is it possible that it would change the relationship? Who knows? But for that one day, okay, you throw it out the door. You know, it is just peaceful. So that's why I wish that one day that the whole world would have one day till there was no anger, there was no hurt, there was no nothing, you know. And maybe, just maybe, the veil that separates our world and spirit world, okay, will get stronger and protect us from the not so good spirits that are out there, you know. So I believe that the veil is just thinned out all year round. And that's why paranormal people, you know, paranormal groups, they're kind of busy, you know what I mean? So back to Halloween. That's something you know, and if anybody out there, you know, has their own way of thinking about the veil, you know what? You know, send me a message. Go to the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Facebook page and send me a message. And I'd like to hear from it. And maybe we can get you on the show. And we can talk about it. So everybody out there, now back to Halloween. Who was your favorite monster? I'll give you time to think about it, you know, and I'll wait for the answers that come into the comments. But my favorite was the werewolves. Werewolf. And we talked about this on Chasing Prophecy tonight. You know, you see all the werewolf movies, you know, the vampire movies. My favorite movies are the ones Lon Chaney, Bela Lugosi. You know, those were the best for horror films. They were the best scary movies for me, you know. And that was what I forget what John said, but 1930s or something like that. And it, the technology we have today, and all the X-rated, sexual kind of things with women and men and all that, they make the vampire be some goddess or whatever. Um, but back then it was okay. There was no blood and guts. They were just good movies, you know. But to think about it, right? Frankenstein too, the old Frankenstein, and but it set the genre to go to where it is today. Um, Back in the 70s, they came out with the Halloween, about a slasher, and after 20 years, he finally, I guess he's going to die. I'm not sure, but the new final Halloween movie's coming out. But who knows? Maybe they'll come up with 20 more. But the old time werewolf, Frankenstein, Dracula, those are the good ones that I kind of enjoyed. If you get up to now, I would have to say the Underworld. With Kate Beckinsale. She's a vampire. She's kind of cute too, extremely cute. But there's Kate, and then the vampires are fighting the Lycans, the werewolves, and stuff like that. So it's like I just watched the movie because of her. Ain't no dummy. No. So, what's everybody's favorite monster? What's everybody's favorite character? I remember too that they had the series, the Leprechaun movies series. Those are one of my favorites too. And you see that little green man going on raising havoc, and then you had Chucky, and the Leprechaun, and the minds that people have who actually write these movies and make these shows is like, gosh, I'd just like to spend like a couple of days in their brain and see where it's at, But those are my favorite monsters. Those are my favorite movies, I would like to hear from who your favorites are, you know. Um, and if you're wondering about my costume here, my costume is undercover Santa Claus, as you can tell with the beard, right? I'm undercover Santa. I'm checking out who's naughty or nice. And right now, and I hope that everybody can be nice for one day. So now that we, got a hold of, expressing our monster likes and our movie likes of Halloween movies and stuff, what plans do you have for Halloween? Do you have any plans? Are you going to parties? Are you going to pass out candy with your children? What are you going to do? Well, as you all know, and I keep talking about it, I am retiring November 1st. And I get to spend it at the Carnegie Library over in Homestead with a bunch of paranormal investigators who kind of grew up with me, who started investigating when I started up. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to it. And so that's where I'm going to be on the 29th of October, is at the Carnegie, Library over in Homestead, Pennsylvania. But that's a very, very haunted library too. It's crazy. Haunted libraries. We have done a lot of investigations at different libraries through the years. And as you all know, Andrew Carnegie was part of Pittsburgh, and he built libraries. In fact, the one that we're going to in Homestead, he built that library for the steel mill workers that were down there. But there's a lot of unhappiness down there. They had the big fight down there between the union people and the Pinkertons, because the steel workers, they wanted to go on strike, and there was a big fight, and some people got killed during that little scuffle. But it's something about libraries that really intrigue me. They really do. And could it be the books that are on the shelves, the old-time books? Like I've said many a times before, okay, that, if you got antique stuff, then spirits follow that antique stuff. Antique, items like salt and pepper shakers and books and stuff like that, That's why I think that libraries are like really totally and brutally haunted, I know the one Carnegie Library down in Connellsville, PA. What the deal with that was they actually built that over a cemetery. And what they did was they were supposedly dug up all the bodies and moved them down the road there to rebury them. But I'm sure, that was a lot of labor. So a lot of them just took the people who were buried there, took their headstones and just moved the headstones and kept the bodies there. And the one in Connellsville, that library down there is very, very haunted. But you also got to remember, too, that Connellsville was also part of the railroad down there. And then there was a lot of fighting between Native Americans and settlers and between different tribes. There's a lot of history here down, in the Mon Valley, here in Pittsburgh, down from Elizabeth down to Denora, Monessen. That's you have the Occoquan River, and you got the other one, the Mon River. There's a lot of stuff that happened, a lot of killings, a lot of fights and stuff like that. And so those places like that, they're definitely pretty haunted. So that's it with Pittsburgh. That's why I like libraries. I'm really looking forward to spend my last investigation with people that really enjoy what they like to do. It's going to be great. But what I want to do is I want to concentrate more into radio. I will start writing a book. In fact, I've actually started doing things I want to write about. And this is a question I want to ask you guys out there too. This book I'm writing, would you rather be bored and if I talked about the technical stuff about, paranormal investigation, or would you like to hear the stories? I personally would like to hear the stories, So I got stories. I got a lot of stories I want to write down. I mean, I don't want to make it a novel because eventually you'll get bored. And once I do the first one, then maybe I can do another book and another book and another book. And then just see where it goes. See where it goes. I got some new gold prospecting equipment that I'm going to be using. I want to go out west next year. I want to go out to Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, California. I don't know about California. But out west, where you can just drive down the road and see a stream and jump out and put a pan in the water and see if you're getting any gold. And it's funny because just like ghost hunting, panning is the same way. Here in Pennsylvania, we do have gold. We have a lot of gold in Pennsylvania. But the problem with our gold here in Pennsylvania is it's small. I mean, you need tweezers. We call it fly poop. That's how small it is. It's called fly poop. And so, I mean, there were times that I've gone to different streams and I would put a pan out and I didn't get nothing, you know? But I always seem to find one, could be a flake, could be a picker, whatever. But even if it's one piece of fly poop, then I'm happy as hell, you know? It's the excitement because, when you pan, you got your dirt and then you're swishing it back and forth. And as you get back and you're swallowing it, and all of a sudden you see a little gold picking up, it's like, yeah, I got me some gold. But I will tell you this, though, I'm never going to make money on it. No, but it is, it's like a hobby for me, you know? So instead of hunting ghosts or prospecting, I'll be prospecting gold, just like I would be prospecting spirits. If that sounds right, That does sound right. So that's what I plan on doing. I'm looking forward to this Saturday to spend time with them. Does anybody have any Halloween stories that they'd like to share? Yeah, feel free. Send me a message. Or if anybody else is out there in the comments, please, say if you want. I'd like to hear your stories and check them out. And also, I'm also looking for people who would like to come on my show and talk about what they do, what their hobbies are. Do they believe in ghosts? Do they believe in UFOs? Do they believe in Bigfoot, aliens, cryptids, stuff? If you want to be on my show Into the Night, you are so more than welcome, and I'll be happy to have you. And again, you can always leave me a message at the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Facebook page, and then we can go from there. I would like to hear other people's stories, I would like to hear what makes them want to participate in prospecting ghosts. I like that better. Instead of hunting ghosts, it's called prospecting ghosts. It makes it, because a lot of people have come up to me lately and they said, when you mean hunting ghosts, are you hunting them? No, I'm not. It's just I'm so used to saying that. They had the show Ghost Hunters. And a lot of people took offense with me saying the word ghost hunting. And I'm like, no. Nope. So I just thought about this. It'd be like ghost prospecting. I like that. I'm going to be ghost prospecting. Maybe someday when I'm out west or I'm on my travels, I got 7 more years to go and I can retire and go traveling, and maybe I can, maybe take and find a place that is haunted and go investigate at night and then prospect in the morning at the same area. That would be like really, really cool, My favorite place that I really enjoyed to go to, there was a place down in Trimway, Ohio. It's called Prospect Place. I mean, there's a big history about it. I really don't want to get into the history behind it, but it's definitely haunted. I've been down there about 8 or 9 times now, and it's like we pick something up all the time that we go there. There's a ghost down there that kind of likes me. Her name's Constance, so she's always happy to see me down there, but I know it was really big during when the slaves, it was part of the Underground Railroad, and the slaves would come in from the south and up through Ohio and up into Canada or up north. But they ran through this place called Prospect Place. It's like Manson, and it's a pretty interesting layout. And I highly recommend everybody. I highly recommend Google it, Prospect Place, Trimway, Ohio, and just read the history behind it because it's really interesting. It really is. And if there are any other paranormal groups out there who are listening to my show tonight, feel free, to go there. I do believe that they have investigations going on all the time down there, and it's reasonable. And I can guarantee you won't be disappointed if you go down there. I really, really enjoyed myself doing that, going down there and just having a lot of memories. I think next week's show I'm going to have and talk about memories of my investigations. In fact, that's November 1st. That's the official day I retired. So I'm like, it's something to bring up. And that's another thing I want to ask everybody out there too, if you're listening to my show. Feel free to send me a message again at the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society Facebook page, and send me a message and tell me what you would like to talk about. What different subjects would you like me to bring up? And if it's suitable, I definitely will do that. I will definitely, could be about anything almost, but more on the paranormal side, And to me, I think that would be great because I really believe that there should be participation with everybody in the show, for my show. I believe in participation. And I would like to hear your ideas. So if you're not busy one day, just send me a message and I'll see what we can do about it. I don't want to talk about, I don't really want to get into more of my memories of my investigations because I'm going to say that for next week, but I would like to hear your ideas. Okay, we got 7 minutes left. I just want to say to each and every one of you out there who listen to my show, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Seriously, I do thank you. This is my 3rd year doing it, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And I think I'm doing okay, Just, I just want to thank you for, listening. Because sometimes I really do talk a lot, So it's funny. Come Monday, right? When it's Monday, then I don't talk that much. And I really hardly ever talk on Tuesday afternoons before the shows. Because it's because I talk a lot now, So starting tomorrow when I wake up, then I won't be talking as much because I, talk so much right now. I know that was like going like every which way but loose and off the roads and stuff like that. But yeah, I do talk a lot, but that's okay. I just want to wish everybody a happy Halloween. Go out and have fun. Enjoy the day. Be somebody that you can't be. You got that one night, that one day to be who you want to be and enjoy it. Enjoy. Enjoy time. If you're, uh, married couples out there that have a bunch of little children, go have fun. Carve pumpkins. You know, get the candy ready. Get the candy ready. And it was a tradition at our house that we had pizza on Halloween night. Nothing else, it's just pizza. And that's been going on for a very, very long time. I'd have to say close to 50 years now. Every Halloween we got pizza. No matter where I'm at, if I'm out of state, if I'm in another country, I would have pizza. And it's okay. I enjoy it. One pizza with extra cheese and another pizza with extra pepperonis. That's what we get. And then after we pass out the candy, then what we'll do is sit back and we'll watch some old scary movies. That's my Halloween, and that's the part I enjoy. It's been a long time since I've done that, because usually I'm not doing a paranormal event of some sort. But this year I can enjoy it. So my last question for everybody out there. What are you dressing up as Halloween for Halloween? What are you going to be? I'm an undercover Santa Claus. This is my outfit right here. I'm an undercover Santa Claus. That's my outfit, right? But I want you all to have a safe one. I want you all to have a good one. Enjoy. Live life. And don't get angry at people. Don't. If you have not one nice thing to say to anybody, don't say anything at all. If you can give them a smile. Do you know a smile? You don't have to say anything. Just a smile really makes a person's day. Really does. It's great. So I try to smile a lot. It's kind of hard to see with this beard and this mustache that I got here. But people see it. It's getting close to the witching hour here. I got a couple minutes left. Okay. So, parents, please go to your children, all right, and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And when you say that, mean it. Definitely mean it. And children, go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. If your parents aren't around, go to an aunt. Go to somebody who you really care about and give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a very, very, very long way. Real quick before I sign out here, when my son was born, I made a promise to God, I made a promise to Paul, and I made a promise to me that I would tell my son every day that I love him. And I do, and I did, and I still do. But what's really cool about it is when he became a teenager, in front of his friends, he would say, "Daddy, I love you." I was like, "What?" I'd never say that to my folks when I was a teenager. And there were a couple times that my son and I would be talking on the phone and we hang up. And he'd call me right back and I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "You forgot to tell me that you love me, Dad." And I'm like, "Oh, crap. I do love you, man. I do love you." And he would say the same thing. And he's 32 years old now. And every time we talk, every time we chat on the phone, we always end, "I love you." And on that note, everybody, have a happy Halloween. Be safe. Eat a lot of candy. A lot of Reese's Cups. But my favorite candy bar is the Three Musketeers. I'm just going to go with that. So, good night and have fun. Happy hunting. Good night.